Guys, deluded player ratings, I've got them in front of me. Let's get into it. Obviously, I'm referring to Arsenal's victory against BATE in the Europa League away from home. So yeah, let's start with the experienced players. I'm just gonna a little spoiler for anyone that doesn't like spoilers. I can't lie, none of them played too well in my opinion, apart from Jack. Wilshere, we might as well start with him. Wilshere, 10 out of 10. Standards dropped in the second half, was giving the ball away a lot, but that's what we want to see. That's what we miss in the first team. Driving runs forward, picking out passes, the cute link-up play. He did a lovely assist. He was unlucky not to score. He was even putting in challenges. He looks up for it. And I know it's cliche, and I know we say it all the time. But if he could stay fit, we've got a player there. He's not going to have the career he could have had throughout these before these injuries and be the player he could have been. But that doesn't mean he can't be a very, 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 very decent player and consistent player. He'll need to add goals and assists to his game ultimately, because that's what's the bread and butter for midfielders. But we've missed that. Dictating tempo, inspired passes over the top, a range of different passes, disguised passes over the top, in behind. Well, that's what we've missed. That's what Jack Wilshere is about. He can play a range of midfield roles. And yeah, when you see the England squad, if you want me to make a video about that squad, I will. But you're seeing the likes of Livermore and them guys there. Wilshere, if you stay fit, you can get in that side. So could Tommy Davies from Everton. I'm surprised he's not called up. But we're going off topic. So after that, all the others didn't play well. Giroud, 4 out of 10. He scored his penalty, and I'm happy he got 100 goals. I think he's played 238 games, and he's got 100 goals. So that shows how good of a footballer he is, what a good signing he's been. Obviously, we know he hasn't been that creme de la creme forward, but he's been a very good forward, and numbers don't lie. And yeah, he scored his goal, but other than that, the ball didn't stick. Yeah, it was hard because I'd say we could have played a bit more to your strengths considering how weak defensively from crosses and set pieces the opposition were. Could have put in a bit more, but the ball weren't linking. It weren't sticking with you when it was going up there. The link-up play was so-so. Yes, it was good for one of the goals, but it was still so-so. There was a couple incidences. Yes, you did fight and you showed incredible strength to hold on to the ball, but I just don't think he had a good game. So 4 out of 10. Theo, 5 out of 10. And I wanted to give him a 4, maybe even a 3, because apart from the goals, he did not do anything. The runs, yes, he tracked back a couple of times, but he gave the ball away in key areas. No awareness, whether it was in front of goal or bringing the ball down on the right hand flank. No calmness in front of goal, really. Being greedy when he shouldn't have. Not doing jobs that he wouldn't have got away with if he's playing with more experienced players. So 5 out of 10. He only gets that because of scoring. Ultimately, I can't take that away from him. If we take away his 2 goals, we draw tonight. So he made the difference whatever way we look at it. So I'll give him a 5 out of 10. But real terms, 3 out of 10 from me. I'm very disappointed, but I gotta give him a 5 because you lot tell me I don't keep it. I'm not being fair to Theo, and I'm not being fair to El Nene and things like that. Don't talk nonsense to me. Moving on from Theo Walcott. Who else? El Nene, I give him a 4 out of 10. Not because he necessarily played bad. I just felt you could have played a bit more forward passes. You were losing the ball as much as Chris Willock, in my opinion. Stats might not back that up. Yeah, man, I give him a 4. In fact, that's being harsh. I give him a 5 out of 10. He weren't really at fault for anything. Let me not be harsh to him. El Nene, 5 out of 10. Joe Willock, 7 out of 10. First half, he was getting on the ball a lot and he could have been a bit braver. Second half, he did. Yes, he was caught and he played a bit more, a couple square passes, and his standards dropped when it got towards the 90th minute. That's what these young players need to really take into account. Keeping the standards up for 90 minutes. Yes, it's harder than academy football, up and down, that brute strength. But he got in the trenches today. He was dictating play. He was being braver in the second half. He was getting in the scraps of it. Someone should have got sent off for that little tangle with him. Unlucky not to got an assist as well. He really looked inspired and he looks a good player, man. And he still needs to improve physically. He was getting a bit bullied a couple of occasions. But I'm incredibly encouraged by his performance. So 7 out of 10 for Chris Willock. His boy Reece Nelson, I give him a 7 out of 10. We're quiet in the second half, and that's probably why he came off. But you saw in the first half the chops, the flicks, going forward, linking up. Personally thought he could have afforded to go forward a bit more. Of course, he's not a wing back, but the benefit is he learns how to defend. And if you looked at what he was trying to do, he's actually putting an emphasis on defending. You could tell him telling people, watch your man. You could tell him getting his man. He didn't shy away from defending, and he wasn't caught out really. So I give him a 7 out of 10. Maitland-Niles, I give him a 6 out of 10. We need to just see the man in central midfield. It's unfortunate. Playing on the left-hand flank, he did what he could. He put some balls in. He fought. He made some recovery challenges. Yes, again, lapses in concentration. But he did what he could. So Maitland-Niles, I give him a 6 out of 10. I take that back if I said 7, to be honest. He played some key passes, but to get 7, you kind of need to do something, and he didn't really do that. Mustafi, 4 out of 10. 4 out of 10. 4 out of 10. 4 out of 10. The challenges weren't there. I believe there's a defender in Mustafi, but what's going on with the coaching and what's going on with his mindset as a human being, you should know what you're doing. Diving in, losing the ball, forcing passes. You're meant to be the experience, especially in the back four. You're meant to spread confidence to the young midfielders. You weren't doing that. No one in that, especially in the second half, they were all poor. The whole back three were poor. No one in that back three can actually get more than a thingy, to be honest with you, more than a 4. So that means Mertesacker a 4. It's not really his fault because he made a couple of challenges to stop a couple goals, but he's past it. Yeah, and you look at the last goal we conceded. Him, all 3 of the back 4 could be pointed. Finger could be pointed at all of them. So I give him a 4 out of 10. Holding a 4 out of 10. At fault, you could claim he was at fault for 2 of the goals, or had a hand in 2 of the goals. Sorry. He's a great centre half. He will be a very good centre half. I got complete faith in Holden. I'd like him to play more. I didn't agree with him being dropped. But I told you guys, he's raw. These are the mistakes he's going to make. He's still somewhat naive. And these are the things that happens. You get away with it because we've ultimately won in this BATE away. But if that happens against United, City, Chelsea, Liverpool away, these things will be remembered. So yeah, Ospina, you guys know I'm the biggest fan of Ospina. But I can't even get at him today. I give him a 5 out of 10, maybe possibly even a 6. When asked, he made some couple. He was booky a couple of occasions, but he made a couple of vital saves and a couple of. I mean, there was one, it was ruled out for offside, but he wasn't meant to know that. There was one that he saw late, similar to the one I just spoke about. He saw that late. He dealt with it. Couple challenges here and there he dealt with, and ultimately, yeah, man, I'm not his biggest a fan, but that's what he did. And the back 3 were not helping him at all. So there's nothing he could really do, especially in the second half when we were getting peppered. And he tried his best to waste time and in the first half and in the second half to try and get through the result. So I see you for that. And like I said, it's a bittersweet game. Like I said in my first video, it's a bittersweet game because ultimately we won 4-2 on the surface. The young players played well. But again, it's a tale of 2 halves. Not killing off games, letting ourselves down defensively, cheap goals being conceded, playing one way whether we're winning, chasing a game, drawing, whatever. Inability to manage a game, ultimately just game management. Extremely poor because these are several experienced players, and it weren't even the young players that we are really at fault today. They were the experienced players based on today. They stood up to be counted. Yes, they're galvanized because they have something on the line. They can make their debuts and they're playing first team and getting the manager's thoughts, so they have a reason. And these experienced players, not really, I can't really forgive them, but I forgive them for not probably taking this game as more serious as they could have because they want to play the more glamorous games. These players know they're not in the first team like that, apart from Mustafi and arguably Holding. Wilshere's trying to get into the first team and cement a starting midfield place. El Nene ultimately is not. He's using a rotation scheme. So yeah, there's several other players just trying to crack on, and they don't really want to play in these games. So yeah, that's the player ratings anyways, guys. I'm not going to hold you too long. So yeah, enjoy your evening and what's left of it. Deludaguna, I'm signing out. Get in the comments, subscribe, follow me on my socials, Deludaguna04 on Twitter, Facebook, all of that, Dguna04 on Snapchat. Yeah.